Hello, everybody. Welcome to, this is some strange lighting, you guys. Bear with me as we find, oh well, here we go. Hi, you guys. Welcome to Magic Monday. Every Monday, normally at 2 p.m. Pacific, I go live here. So we're just 30 minutes later today. I've been playing catch up today. I had a really busy day yesterday and then just have been slightly rushed today. So thank you for your flexibility with me. I'll give you guys a few minutes to jump on. I want to talk about something that is something I've thought about a lot and moved through a lot, and I've just been dying to elaborate on it to all of you because I think that it's a really important disclaimer in the conversation of following your alignment and following pleasure, because we've all experienced those moments where the pleasurable thing to do was to push through your resistance, right? Where the truly pleasurable thing is to do the hard thing. Do you guys feel me? Can you relate to that? So, for example, in your business, when you're thinking about what marketing strategy you want to do, what do you want to do to build your audience and whatever. Welcome, Maggie. Hi, my love. So taking your business as an example with this topic, this has happened to me so many times where I'm like sitting, I'm tuning into myself, and I'm meditating and I'm asking for guidance, and I'm clear on the desire. I'm clear on I want X amount of clients, or I want to get my Instagram to X amount of followers or whatever. And I'm just open and I'm receiving the guidance, and I hear what it is I'm supposed to do. So I hear my aligned step, right? And I'm like, oh, fuck no. Right? So in the beginning, I don't even know. Close to when Facebook Live became a thing. It used to not exist. Do you remember the days before Facebook Live existed? So before I got really comfortable doing them, I had never done it before, right? And I don't know what the goal was at that time, but I got the intuitive hit that I needed to do Facebook Lives. And I freaked out and resisted it and didn't do it right away. So this is a perfect example of where sometimes following your pleasure/alignment is not always comfortable. And this is something that really needs to be clarified. And I think people can sometimes see my work and see my message online and not see the deeper layer that, yes, this is about feeling as good as this is about feeling your best and following your inner yeses over and over and over. And I truly believe and know that the better you feel, the more magnetic you become, and the more you walk your path of alignment, the faster you reach your goals in every area of your life. I believe all of that. And sometimes following that is fucking uncomfortable. And not sometimes. It's a guarantee that anything you're creating in your life that you don't already have is going to bring up some form of resistance, right? Because it's change. Change is uncomfortable. Hi, welcome, Amy. So the women who are live with us right now are all from the Sexy Success Squad. Hey. Hi, my love. So happy you guys are here. This is so fun. I love it when you guys hop on live with me. It's so much more fun than just like talking to myself. So where was I? Okay, so on this pleasure path, you are going to be challenged because everything worth, oh God, what's the phrase? Everything worth doing is, you guys know the expression I'm trying to think of? Anyways, what I'm trying to say though is the things that are worth your time are going to challenge you, right? Like the desires that are most important to you are going to challenge you because that we came here to grow. And so yes, you get to follow pleasure and have the most fun as possible and feel your best. As a rule of thumb, I believe that for every person, everyone gets to prioritize feeling good, because when you're feeling good, you're in alignment. But sometimes along the path, you will be challenged to stretch. If you want to grow, if you want something new, whether it's in your relationship, in your romantic life or in your business or in your health, whatever, you're going to have to stretch a little bit, right? And so in my business, for example, I've done so many Facebook Lives now, and a lot of those Facebook Lives have led to new clients and people joining programs of mine and whatever. So we lose so much. We lose what it is we're trying to create when we don't listen to the intuitive guidance we get. If we say, oh, well, I got an intuitive hit that I'm supposed to do Facebook Lives, but they scared the shit out of me, so I'm not doing it, but I also haven't hit my goal yet, and I'm sitting there wondering why. Like, you really have to check yourself. And so, is this making sense? Tell me with hearts and likes or in the comments below if this is making sense, that sometimes when you're following your alignment, you're going to have to do things that are uncomfortable, but it still is you following pleasure, because on the other side of that is everything you want. Right? So I want to give you guys an example, and then I'm going to talk about a different version of this, like understanding when the resistance means you should push through and go do it, and that your rewards are on the other side, and then understanding when something is just like, no, this is not what I'm meant to do. So we'll talk about that in a second. But I want to give you an example that I've recently been intuitively guided to really focus positive attention on my relationship with my husband. And it's so natural. Our relationship has been so natural and easy for the most part that it can be really easy to not prioritize actually working on our relationship and realizing like, hey, like imagining like a plant needs water to grow, right? So I've been really drawn in my personal life to focus on growing with him and having an even better life together and better relationship, which is very ENFP of me. If you guys know the Myers-Briggs Myers-Briggs personality type thing, I'm like, let's grow, like let's overcome challenges, even if there are none. Any chance to like do personal development work, I take it. So anyways, I've been really inspired to just work more on our relationship together. So I'm reading this book. It's called Getting the Love You Want. It is phenomenal. If you're in a long-term relationship, committed relationship, and you're wanting to work through your stuff and have a better relationship, I highly recommend it. And at the back of the book, there's a workbook, and Greg and I are going to do that together. But anyways, I was reading it, and the most powerful thing that I read this weekend that blew my mind was his argument. The author's argument is, usually what your partner needs most from you is what is going to challenge you the most to give. And that there's a whole reason behind why we're attracted to who we're attracted to because of that. So if Greg, for example, so ENFP over here, if Greg needs me to be reliable and dependable and consistent, those are the things that challenge me most. Those are qualities that I've had to work on. And having a business is a really awesome way to challenge myself in that way. And I obviously am dependable, but it doesn't come as easy to me as it does to him. And it's very natural for him to be super dependable and on time and consistent. And I'm kind of all over the place and more like big vision and creative and flowing. So it said in the book that if you do the hardest thing for you to do, you end up actually getting your needs met too. And you end up, because when I do what Greg needs me to do, he then has more time to be more emotionally available, which is what I want as the more emotional person. So it was just saying that like through me stretching and doing the hard thing, which would be like doing the dishes more frequently. How many of you guys struggle with that? So that's just a perfect example. By me pushing through and doing the thing that I pretty much hate doing, which is the dishes, I will end up in a state of deeper pleasure than if I didn't push through, because then Greg doesn't have to do so much and he has more time for me to give me the attention and the intimacy that I crave, which is what my number one thing is his emotional availability and closeness to me. And so that just blew my mind. I'm always looking at like parallels between what I teach you guys with business and just manifesting in general, but then how it also ties it's the same concepts in every single area of life, which is so fun. So I just had like a mind explosion when I read that, oh my God, doing the thing that I don't want to do, which is the least pleasurable, ultimately is going to be the most pleasurable thing for me. Who would have thought? Who would have thought doing the dishes is going to give me what I wanted, right? And maybe this is like very basic to you and you're like, well, duh. And maybe you've been married for like 10 years and you already know this. But for me, it was really powerful just to realize this underlying important disclaimer to the pleasure path that we talk about here in this space and that I'm all about, is that sometimes following pleasure is going to bring up your weaknesses and be challenging. And I guess this is a perfect time to talk about kind of what I was going to talk about next, which is those differences. But, oh, really quick. Another thing in the book that was really cool is he said, you pick your partner for that particular reason. Like when I give him what he needs, I end up getting what I need, and vice versa. When he gives me what I need, I'm more motivated to do the things that he wants me to do, right? But then it also said that which is also pleasure, I get to grow and strengthen the parts of me that I struggle with. And so by practicing being more dependable and more consistent just for Greg, I end up having that strengthened in me, and that will fulfill me in other parts of my life, like my health, for example, and working out, for example, or even just like admin things like paperwork stuff and all the little detailed parts of life that I don't really love. By being stretched by him to be more of those things, I end up creating more pleasure in other areas of my life that don't even really involve him. So that was profound. And if you want to nerd out on relationship stuff, go get that book. I love, 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 love it. So there's a book with exercises at the end, and then there's a separate workbook. So when you search Getting the Love You Want, make sure you're getting, here, I'll just show you guys. It's right here because we were working on it last night together. There it is. Da-da-da. I love, 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 love it. It is freaking powerful. And that was just one tiny part of it. It's really, really deep. Anyways, so the next thing I want to talk about on this same breath is, how do you know so let's take your business, for example. How do you know when something is just purely out of alignment versus I am feeling resistance to doing this thing, but I know on the other side of me doing it, I'm going to experience more and more pleasure, or I'm going to experience greater freedom, or whatever. So I think it's different for all of us, and I'll just speak from my personal experience that usually when it's something that I really ultimately would benefit from doing, but I feel resistance to it, it's like I can't talk about it with a straight face. Like I can't give you an excuse for why I shouldn't do it with a straight face, because deep down I know that it's my next step, right? Do you guys feel me on that? Like, you know, you can't bullshit yourself, right? And maybe sometimes we can. Maybe sometimes we have a really big blind spot and we really just don't see. Like with the dishes, for example, before I read that part of the book, he and I just agreed that I was responsible for other chores and he was responsible for that one. Like I just accepted, like, I suck at this thing. So, and you're really good at it. So why don't you do it? And I'll like do the big picture things, like clean the floors, and whatever. So there are moments where we don't see it. But for the most part, I think for me, it's important to feel in your body. Like, I'm a total feeler, and I'm very intuitive. So if something, like if I'm working with a business coach, I used to have a business coach in the past who would tell me to do things, and I was like, that's not in alignment for me. And it just felt like my mama bear energy would come through and just put up a boundary and be like, no, I'm not doing this. And to protect, it was there to protect me. And then there'd be moments where she or someone would give me guidance on my business, and I'd be like, oh, that's really scary, but like, okay. And I think about myself doing it without fear, and it feels good. That's when I know. So for Facebook Lives, for example, when I think about my ultimate vision, so going back to when I used to be really weirded out by doing these, and now I feel really comfortable. Like right now I feel very safe and comfortable. But in the beginning I felt so weird and scared and awkward being live like this. If you connect to your big vision, so for me, my big vision was I want to be seen, and I want to be expressed, and I want to talk to people, and I want to show my face, and I want to connect as deeply as I can while being virtual. And video, to me, and a lot of people agree with me on this, that video is like the most intimate way you can connect with your audience over any other form of connecting with them. And so when I tapped into my big vision and I closed my eyes, so you can do this right now with your business or any area of life, but closing your eyes and tapping into what you know you're meant to do, like 5 years from now, 10 years from now even, what the big vision is for your work in the world. And you can see what you're doing, and maybe you're on stage, but right now you have a fear of public speaking. There's your answer, right? There's your version of doing Facebook Lives, right? Where if this, and this is what you can just ask yourself, if you're trying to come up with, okay, what is my next step in my business? What strategy should I do? There are a million that we can do, right? So it can be overwhelming. I always tap into my big vision, and then I tune into what's the guidance I'm getting right now. And if I experience resistance around that guidance, like Facebook Lives, for example, then I know it's a challenge I have to push through. If I am actually committed to that big vision that I saw. So for me, my big vision is having like a really huge membership, which I've already started growing, right? It's a baby membership right now, but I want it to be really big. And I know that I see myself being on Facebook Live there all the time, like doing these live videos and trainings and in front of big audiences and being comfortable. And I see myself on stages, right? And so all of that is anytime where I'm guided to do those things and I feel resistance, I'm gonna have to work through it if I want my vision to unfold, right? I also see myself doing Facebook ads with video, which feels really scary right now, but if I see it in my vision, then I know I have to work through it, and I know that it's gonna be worth doing, right? So if anyone can remember what that phrase is, anything worth doing, something, 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 tell me what that quote is. But anyways, that's what I'm trying to say is, if it aligns to what your ultimate vision is, moving through the resistance is going to bring you so much freedom and pleasure. So therefore, it's worth it. It's worth it to move through that resistance. And that's the resistance that's going to make you grow. Versus, on the other hand, if you feel in your gut, again, I'm very feeling oriented and I make my decisions based on like how I feel about them. So if you're different than that, then you can come up with, like, think back to moments where you just knew you weren't supposed to do something and moments where you knew you were supposed to do something. And just remember those two feelings and use that to judge how you create in your business, right? And in your life and what you do. So if there's a moment where you feel like someone's telling you to do something or you're being invited to do something and it's just a hard no, you have full permission. This is the other side of this pleasure path that's equally as important as the side we just talked about. You have full permission / responsibility to listen to that gut feeling of no. It's the feeling of, nope, that's not me. That's not for me, right? There's not like a specific example coming up for me of when I felt that, but I feel it all the time. I'm very clear on what my no's are. I'm like, nope. I can't think of a specific example, but it's like, if it doesn't bring me pleasure now, / if it's not going to bring me pleasure ultimately from doing this, then it's a hard no. There you go. That's what you can ask yourself. That's just an example. I'd love to hear in the comments, what do you guys ask yourself? How do you know how do you know the difference inside you of when something is a no versus when something is like, ooh, I know I meant to do this, but I'm scared shitless. And I'm feeling resistance, but I know I meant to move through it. How do you know the difference? I would love to hear in the comments. I hope that was clear. I feel like I just rambled. Tell me, how cute is this plant and that little vase behind me? Like, really loving my decor these days. I match kind of with this green thing. Tell me. Do you guys struggle with that difference? And has this been clarifying? Okay, I saw some comments I didn't, hold on, I'm gonna scroll up. Amy, you're an INFP. I love INFPs. I have a lot of friends that are that, where you're just the introverted version. Yes. This is such a great topic. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Transformation is never comfy and cozy. That is true. That's really why I wanted to clarify this. Is like, if you're interpreting what I teach and you're like, this really resonates, but also I'm confused because like I wake up every day scared shitless. as I work on my business. And that doesn't feel like pleasure, right? So I hope that this clarifies that for those of you who are maybe feeling that way, like, I don't know what you're talking about because none of this is pleasurable. I feel you on that. But ultimately, it's that feeling of like, it's scary now, but this is what I'm meant to do. And on the other side of this, I will be being who I'm meant to be, and I will be doing what I'm meant to do. And I will feel a deep sense of satisfaction. That's when you know that you're supposed to move through it and do it. Move through it and do it. Send me some hearts and likes if you're into this, if it's resonating. Also, the comments might be delayed. That happens sometimes. Welcome, Sheila. Welcome, Shauna. Ooh, yay. Comment. Okay, I'm going to tap on that. My intuitive feeling is different for me. If it's scary but worth it, I get butterflies. Yeah. But if it's totally not my thing, then I feel a heavy, dark, F no feeling. Yes. That's very similar to how I feel. Like with the butterflies, like butterflies are like nervousness, but it's also kind of giddy, and it's also kind of like a fun energy or a silly energy, at least for me. So like I was saying, I can't say it with a straight face. Like, oh, well, I'm not meant to do Facebook Lives. Like I wouldn't be able to say it with a straight face if I knew if it really was something I was supposed to do. And then things that are a fuck no, or like things that are just a no are a fuck no. Like they're just like a no. So that's awesome that you have that really clear distinction within you. We need that, right? And so if there's anything in your life right now or in your business right now where you need to know, where you need to find clarity as to whether or not you're supposed to do something or do something a certain way, I want to just invite you to close your eyes. We can do this together right now. And you can use this for later. Or if you have something that you want clarity on right now, do it right now, okay? And you can come back to this. And eventually these videos will be put on YouTube. I need to do that. Okay, anyways, close your eyes and just take a deep breath. And exhale, let out a sigh. Again, inhale, receive. Exhale, release. Just tuning into yourself, drawing all of your attention back to you, all of your energy, focus, and attention focused inside of you right now. Placing your hands on your heart. Breathing into this space, breathe into your heart center. And bring up into your mind the situation or the challenge or the area that you're wanting clarity on. And just feel the feelings that come up in your heart space as you think about that. And imagine that you're asking imagine that you're asking your inner wise woman for advice. Your inner wise woman knows how your entire life is going to unfold. She knows what's best for you. She's a part of you. She's not outside of you. She's within you. And ask her for guidance. Ask her what step to take. Ask her to remind you of your vision. And see yourself doing that thing that you're wondering whether or not you should do. And just see how it feels. If there's any feeling of like, ew, no, then you get to trust that. If there's any feeling of, wow, this would actually be so expansive and challenging in a good way, then that's your answer. And so just breathing into this. And again, just really deeply connecting to your heart space and trusting that your heart knows. Your heart always knows. And if this opportunity or this strategy or this situation is a no for you, your heart will tell you, and your heart will feel collapsed or your heart will feel tight. And if this situation is ultimately for your highest good, your heart will be open and draw you towards it. And any fears that come up with that, you can support yourself through, and you can get support on through. You can get support on it to help you move through into it. So take a deep breath, thank your inner wise woman, and thank the wisdom of your heart space. And exhale. Know that you can trust yourself. You can trust your gut feelings. And that the answer is always inside of you. You always know what's best for you. Even when the future feels unclear, you know what's best for you right now for your next steps. And slowly release the visualization. And open your eyes when you're ready. Yay! How was that, you guys? Can you imagine yourself doing that in the future? Like either on your own or re-listening to this? I hope that supported you. I love connecting to my inner wise woman. I was guided once through a really long inner wise woman visualization. And I just saw her I saw her house. I saw her in the woods, and she was me, but like 70 or something. And she was so chill and she was so sweet, and she gave me really clear wisdom on my relationship at the time, and she said, just love him. And it was so sweet, and I remember that forever. It was so real and vivid. So anyways, you can really connect with that inner wise woman archetype, and I swear that it's actually our future selves helping us. I really feel that time is non-linear, and at any time we have like a really important decision to make, we can tune into ourselves and visualize our older selves who have been through all of it, who already know how it's all unfolding for you. And doesn't that just feel like the deepest sense of relief to know, like, it's like you have your own inner grandmother who knows everything. She's like your fairy godmother, or something along those lines. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'd love to hear in the comments if you liked it, how it felt. If you got any clarity on anything, tell me. Nala's here with us too. Nala, say hi. Always our little mascot. Yay, you guys. So, in summary, you get to always trust yourself and follow your alignment, follow pleasure, and have the discernment within you when something is a no and when something is a yes, but with discomfort. That is a skill that you need to succeed, for sure. If you have any questions or need any help on this or clarity, just comment, especially if you're watching the replay. Just comment below and I'll do my best to get back to all of the comments. I would love to just have a continuous dialogue with you guys here in this group. Okay, my loves, any final comments or questions for me? Just petting Nala. She moved to sit next to me. You guys want to see her? Nala! Hi! You're on a live stream. You're on Facebook Live. Are you nervous? No. You love it. Okay, you guys, I don't see any comments or questions, so I assume that you loved this and are getting it. And yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any announcements I have for you guys. Something that I wanted to just let you guys know is I've opened up a few spots to work with me one-on-one. And so if you've been wanting like more attention and support, I definitely need to work on connecting with my inner wise woman. Yay, I'm just now seeing that. I'm trying to like your comment, Shauna. Awesome. So yeah, you can do that visualization again, and then just at any time, just close your eyes and visualize her and ask for a message and you will get one. I promise you. Okay, cool. I'm glad that popped up before I hopped off. So yeah, I was just saying that I'm actually, I have a couple spots open right now to work with me for 6 months privately. And so just imagine having like intimate one-on-one support. You get 2 one-on-one calls a month, and you get 2 group calls with me and all the other one-on-one clients a month. So you basically get to get feedback and support live from me once a week with unlimited messaging support in between, access to my membership, and all the delicious things. So if you've been kind of feeling called to that and wondering like how how much faster you can grow and create when you feel supported. That's a big one for me, you guys. I just hired a new coach, and just the difference between having a coach and not having a coach for me is such a different feeling, where I personally feel like I can flow and be in my feminine so much more when I have when someone has my back in that way, where obviously I have friends and I have an amazing husband and I have community, but it's different when you have someone whose job is to support you and to hold the vision with you and to give you all the feedback and downloads and intuitive hits that they're getting for you. It's the experience of being held rather than having to do it alone. That's at least how I feel about it. And I have a few spots open. So if you've been feeling called to that, or called to this work, and you resonate with my message, and you have a huge, beautiful vision for your life and your business and your service to the world, and you know that you want to live a huge life through that and do it with pleasure and alignment like we're talking about, then you are the client that I work with. You're exactly the type of person that I work with. So message me if you're interested in that opportunity. I'm going to close those spots very, very soon. So I have a couple weeks where I'm going to be having people apply and stuff, and then it'll be closed because I only take a few at a time. And like I said, it's a 6-month commitment, which is a really delicious period of time to create total transformation and to really change a lot of things. We work very fast. So, okay, you guys, that's all I wanted to say. So yeah, if you're resonating with that or you have any questions about that, message me and we can discuss. And other than that, you guys, I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day and have a beautiful week. Okay, you guys, thanks for watching. And also, if you're watching the replay, comment with any questions you might have and I'll get back to you guys. Okay, mwah. I'll see you next week.